Let's turn our sights now to Greenville Triumph SC, as I am thrilled to be joined by Chairman and owner Joe Erwin and Vice Chairman Doug Erwin to the show today. Guys, thanks for stopping by.
Great to be here, Kelsey. Thanks for having us.
It's a big day for the league, so really appreciate you guys making the time. And it's so exciting as a whole for the women's soccer landscape. Joe, what does the creation of the W League team in Greenville mean for young women who are looking to pursue careers in soccer?
Yeah, we think it's huge, Kelsey. We've got so many girls and women who have played or are playing in the upstate of South Carolina. This area of the country over indexes, I think, Doug, in play among girls and women over most places in the United States. So we think this announcement is huge for the area generally, but especially for girls and women.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, in gender equality, we talk about that as being one of the three pillars for the USLW League. Doug, how are you guys going to work to kind of create an environment under the Greenville platform that is equitable for both the men's and women's team?
For us, a lot of it ties back into one of the big things I know my dad spent most of his time on lately is the stadium project, and having both teams play under one roof at Legacy Early College in the near future, and then hopefully ultimately in the very near future, getting to play in a permanent stadium. So to afford that opportunity, even though initially we're coming into the W League, looking at it more as a League Two type team, with a lot of college play that we want to highlight in the area. To give girls and women the opportunity to play in the stadium that the men's team's playing, and to play in that professional environment with a couple thousand fans is hugely important to us.
Yeah, and it really speaks to our philosophy, even before this, Kelsey, about gender equity. It's something we feel very, very passionate about. I think girls and women deserve the exact same chances as boys and men. And so when we learned that USL was working on this initiative, we were like, all right, this is a great opportunity because we believe in the mission of USL Soccer. So to announce a women's side in USL really has us very excited.
And it's kind of fun for us too. This was about a month ago. We were doing a retreat, and with all the players and staff, and looking at our current front office staff, over half of our front office staff are women. A lot of whom I think
played.
3 or 4 played at elite high school level or college level. So it's kind of fun to go around and see how the women's game at different high levels has touched just our front office. And it's really exciting for us. And I know a lot of people on our staff are really excited about the initiative because it really hits close to home for them.
Yeah. In fact, if we ever play a co-ed game with our staff, we'll kick people's butts. I mean, we're good.
For sure.
It's obvious the W League is such a natural fit for you guys. There's no question there. And I think what's cool when you touch on the stadium project and everything that you guys are working to develop there, you have a cool opportunity of having the women's league and your men's team begin play at the same time in that stadium, which is unique and special, I think, to Greenville.
Well, absolutely, Kelsey. And it also affects the way we're planning the stadium. Because, when you approach gender equity, you have to really be intentional about it. I don't think you get there accidentally. So to build the stadium out, and look, we got a long way to go on that. But in the planning, we're talking about separate locker rooms, and we're not going to have some of those debacles we've seen in the past where, the girls and the women get inferior space and inferior tools. We think that's wrong. And now we've got to prove it, of course, but it's nice to be in the planning stage of something to where you can affect true equity.
So many plans coming out of Greenville. You guys have me all excited, and I feel like
I know.
I were 5, 6, 7 years younger, this would really start to turn the wheel for me a little bit. Joe, when you talk about leadership in the women's side of the game, especially for Greenville, what can people expect from you and your club?
Yeah, well, one of the things that we want to pursue is an expansion of the staff. And we want to look, for example, look, there are a lot of women's teams, women's sports that are led by men. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think as we build out our girls and women's program, we want to look for leadership, from women. and we want girls to have some aspirational figure in their soccer playing lives. So our first look at coaching will be to women, and we'd like to find, a woman or women who have ties to the area and who are making a difference already in the sport of soccer in the Carolinas, or certainly in the region, Doug, I think.
Definitely. Well, and again, it speaks back to the kind of almost happy accident of our staff already being more than half female, but that's something that, certainly isn't going to stop with this. We want to build on that. And some of these people that we've had on our staff for a couple of years that have certainly grown into more senior roles, we already feel like we have great representation and leadership from females, and we're excited to be able to offer more opportunities there as we layer on staff for the women's team.
Well, let's be honest, Kelsey. His mom would beat my tail if we didn't have plenty of women in leadership.
Holding each other accountable in the Erwin family. That's what we're doing.
Right. Oh, believe me, there's plenty of accountability.
Us both being held accountable by her, I think, is probably more accurate than holding each other accountable.
Absolutely.
I absolutely love that. So let's paint this picture. So a year from now, you'll have a solidified roster as well as a full coaching staff for your women's team. First time ever, a historic year.
Oh, man.
What do you hope to accomplish in that first year of play?
I don't know that we want to set any benchmark goals like win a championship, but I think, yeah, I know. And I say this not to pat ourselves on the back, but we hold things to a pretty high standard, and we feel like, the reputation that we've worked very hard for around the league is that we're one of the flag bearers for League One, and we want to be the same thing for the W League, both on and off the field. And, I think, again, we're not under the illusion that we're necessarily going to win a championship, but we expect to be competitive from day one. And we were able to do that on the men's side, and I think that's a fair standard to hold the team to. And the other thing, we just want to have fun, and we want to bring people together and get a bunch of people in the stadium to have fun watching women's soccer. And I think the game day environment is so important to us, and we talk about this a lot when we talk about how we go to sell tickets, and we say, we don't feel like the problem is getting people back. If we can get you there, we know you're going to come back. So from a fan perspective, it's just going to be about educating the fan base, because we think when we get you there for a W League game, you're going to have a great time and want to come back.
Absolutely. And, I'll add to what you said, Doug. Around here, Kelsey, we talk a lot about, our mission. And our mission has never been to win championships, but we always will be best that we can be. And our mission is to create and spread joy. And a W League and an entry from Greenville and the Upstate in the W League will create and spread more joy. That's just our approach to everything we do.
Without question, such a big day for the women's game. And of course, Greenville's involvement in the historical launch. Joe, Doug, I really appreciate your guys' time and insight today. This has been great, and you have me really excited for what's to come.
Yeah, girls rule.
Yes, we do.
All right. See you, Kelsey.